up and welcome. I am getting ready to practice and I thought I would bring you with me if you are looking for some ideas on things to practice, how to practice. You're in the right spot. Beginner, advanced, doesn't matter. So the reason I want to do this live is because I think that sometimes I think sometimes we set unrealistic expectations. I'll hear something, I'll see somebody playing and I'll think, oh my gosh, that's like freaking perfect. And we do make mistakes, and practice is a time for me to kind of work out things that I am struggling with and for all like the wonky things to happen. And so I just kind of try and shake it out. I think live is a good way to go through it so that you can see, it's okay to like make mistakes and hiccup, and that's how we learn. So the first thing I do is I stretch out my arms a little bit, get my forearms going, and kind of shake it out, get my feet ready a little. I think I'd just give it a seated stretch right now. My first, it's kind of a warm up for me. It is 10 exercises. I do each one for 30 seconds. I do it to a metronome, and I also do it to a speedometer that tells me how in time I'm playing. The TD17 has that built in as the under the coaching menu for time check. It'll give me feedback on my tempo. There are other ways to do it. Set a metronome, have it in your ear somehow. And then there's an application called Live BPM that you can put on your phone that does a really good job detecting what tempo you're playing and can give you some feedback on that. So let's get going with these. And I start at 100 beats a minute, and that gives me a quick enough tempo to keep things moving. Some things are challenging, but it's also slow for some of the things, and I need to make sure that I hit everything accurately. Okay, so that is the warm up that I go through, and it kind of gets my limbs going, gets my arms going anyway. We'll do the legs here in a second, and it gives me singles, doubles, flams, triplets, rolls, kind of a good balance of things. There is a full video about that. I think it's called the daily practice, and in that one it's a 10 minute where it's the same exercises. You just do them for a minute at a time each. But yeah, if you're looking for a good, well-rounded workout, and there's actually even a play along that you can set up. And when you go to warm up, you can do your little 10-minute workout with Skittleberry if you'd like. Okay, the next thing I need to do is get my legs going. And it's been a long time since I played double kick until about a year and a half ago. And it's, not like a thrash metal thing for me. But it's just a good way to spice things up a little bit. And I want to have my legs to be able to play in time, to be able to play evenly with dynamics and note spacing. So what I do for that, what I've been working on lately is playing eighths on the ride, and then with my legs, I switch back and forth between 16th notes on the kick drum and then triplets, and I kind of go back and forth between those. Without my right hand on the ride cymbal, it's not that difficult to go from 16ths to triplets, but with that ride in there playing straight eights while my legs are doing triplets, that's kind of the challenging part for me. And so that's what I do when I find something that I want to get better at. That's what it is for me at the moment. I put that in there. I do my warm-ups, and then what I need to do though, because I have a tough time with it, is I slow the tempo way down. I don't care how slow I have to get it. Whatever the exercise is, if I do it slow enough, a turtle could laugh at me, but I don't care. It's me down here. Right now, you guys are with me, and that is wonderful. But I'm fine to just slow things down. That gives my brain some time to coordinate my limbs, and it lets me start to hear where my limbs fall into each other as I hear the exercise kind of as a whole. So all that being said, I'm bringing the tempo down to 60. That's where I've been starting this exercise. And then I will just gradually kind of speed it up from there. Once I feel comfortable, I will bump it up. I know from doing this that I can go from 60 to kind of get the feel established. Then I'll go to 65 beats a minute. I can't just jump straight to 70. So what I do is I just real incrementally, I'll go up 1 beat per minute at a time, and that's fine. And before I know it, I'm playing at 70 beats a minute, and it's 1 beat per minute is not very noticeable at all. So any exercise, whatever it may be that you're working on, slow it down. Doesn't matter how slow you're going, and your brain and your limbs will start to fall in line, and it just takes time. And that's like where drummers are made. Are you willing to sit there and do the boring, mundane stuff? So let's start at 60 beats a minute. Okay, so that ended me up at 70 beats per minute, and I'm good with that. So now I will start to creep up as I practice more. Another good exercise for the feet. There again is a feature, and if you don't have an electronic drum set that's this specific one that has these specific features, you can do similar things. Most electronic drums do have some sort of built-in training features. That's great. I played acoustic for many, many years without any built-in tools, and I used metronome and speedometer and my creativity, whatever I wanted to come up with to work on. So here is another good foot exercise. It is under the coaching menu again in the TD17. It is the warm-ups, and it really starts off with half notes, then goes to quarter notes, then eighths, triplets, 16th, and so forth. It's great for me to work on even spacing. Those half notes sounds super easy. Like, I can play half notes on the kick drum. Can you play them evenly? Can you hit the half note at the right time? A lot harder than it sounds. We'll do that at like 90 beats a minute. I'll do it a little bit slower than my hand warm up, and it's different exercises. Something like this. Okay, again, not as easy as it sounds. My legs, like I said, they need training just like my arms do to play consistently, to play in time for the dynamics to be even and matching. And that's really with all my practicing. I was taught long ago to just have tick, tick of the metronome going through my head, the pulse of the tempo. And I focus on that. All my exercises, all of my playing that I do is centered around solid time. That is my top goal as a drummer, is to lock in solid tempo. And expression comes out beyond that. But when I'm working it out, that's what I'm focused on. And these are just different ways to do it. And like I said, I pick the awkward, challenging ways. Those doubles. That was a really hard one for me to get them even on both hands. And, hopefully that sounded fairly even. So, but some days are better than others. The other thing to work on, okay, that's like foot stuff. Okay, so now more metronome type of stuff. And don't worry, we'll have like fun stuff at the end, because if it's not any fun, then what is the point? So this is yet again another practice feature in the TD17. This is called quiet count. And actually, you know what I want to do before that? I want to just play with a click. I want to just play some beat, keep it simple, not really going for much in the way of fills. I just want to settle in with a click and play around the kit, play a couple different beats, and just bring the pulse into playing around the entire. Okay, so that helps me kind of bring everything together, get all my limbs working together. The other thing it helps me do, like I said, I keep the fills at a minimum. And when I do fill, am I keeping my fills in time? Couple good ways to practice that. So we're going to do the quiet count feature out of here. And this is essentially just a metronome that drops out periodically. So I'm playing in time to the click, and then the click goes away. I will do this for a while, just playing a beat. And then I've got another exercise specifically geared towards fills, keeping fills in time, because that's one of the biggest places that drummers flip out all over the place and really jack the time up is going for the fills. So let's do some of that. I'm just going to play beat for a while, and then I'll stop and we'll talk about how the fill thing works. Okay, so that's just beats. And I don't pay attention to, it's going to tell me like, oh, the tempo's about to go away. And that'll throw me off every time. I just close my eyes and I just lock in on the tempo. And that keeps me, really the metronome kind of disappears when I'm playing in good time. And it really is not that noticeable when the tempo goes away. So to get better at keeping my fills in time, I will use the quiet count feature. I'll set it up a little bit differently. I will have every 8 measures will be one quiet measure. And that one quiet measure is when I'm going to do a fill. And that's going to help me kind of get more accustomed to keeping my fills in time and landing back on the beat. I got no business doing a fill if I can't land right back on the beat nice and solid. Okay. It's very tempting. It's like you get going and, as a drummer, it's like, check it out, check it out, check it out. And I still, I got to focus. I got to make a conscious effort to let that stuff go, keep my playing simple, keep it focused on the tempo. And those are great ways to do that. And that will expose how my internal timing is. Okay. Like I said, practice also has to be fun. Inevitably, I run through my exercises. I challenge myself to the things that I want to get better at, but I do spend a pretty good bit of time really just kind of jamming along to stuff. I'll go through different artists, different genres, different drummers. I'll just pull up their music on my phone. It's connected through here with Bluetooth, and I'll just rock out to stuff. Unfortunately, copyright's going to prevent me from doing a whole bunch of that. But I did download a couple small parts of a couple of lo-fi tracks that I found on the YouTube creator music page, which supplies content creators royalty-free music to use in, I believe, small chunks. I'm not totally sure, so I always err on the side of being cool and not pushing it. But here's a couple of lo-fi things, and this is where all the work stuff is done, and now I just kind of stretch my wings a little bit and learn some different stuff. Take a lot of influence from other drummers, other styles of music. So I'm going to get busy with some of that. Okay, that was, whoops. That's called How Much by Ian Ewing. And then one more is Noble Sacrifice by Vindu. All right, and on it goes. I really have a lot of fun, and the bulk of my time that I spend down here practicing is playing songs. But I always do the work stuff. I always challenge myself, and again, I'm very tempo focused, and I'm always trying to get better in that regard. So, what are your thoughts? Let's keep the discussion going in the comments. Are you curious about any practice methods? Do you have what works for you? Let's have a community discussion about it. How do you practice? What are the things that trip you up? What are the questions you have? Let's talk about it some more in the comments. Thank you for being here. I absolutely appreciate it. And I will see you soon.